parliamentarians from every single party think that this is absolutely disgraceful.
Stop poisoning our children.
I thought he was braver than this.
You're going to regret this, Wes. It's going to haunt you for the rest of your political career.
There is no other word for it. Pure evil.
We are witnessing gay conversion therapy.
What do we want? Stop the trial! When do we want it? Never!
The trial cannot possibly provide any evidence that is in any way helpful to anyone.
Yeah, you know who experimented on kids? The Nazis!
This is the worst thing that has ever happened in this entire experiment with children.
We know the public does not support this.
I don't believe there's such thing as a trans kid.
But kids need to grow up. Puberty is the cure.
Wes Streeting, you need to...
Stop the trial!
Hi everyone, I am here in London on the 17th of December to attend the protest against the puberty blockers trial that Wes Streeting has approved, and that's had ethical approval. How that happened, I don't know, because the whole thing is a bit bonkers. They're looking to put about 226 kids as young as 10. I've even seen reports as young as 8. I don't know if that's true, but at least as young as 10 on these blockers that have been banned in the UK by the NHS because there's too many unknowns about the long-term effects. There's too many risks involved with them, but somehow they still want to do a trial. A clinical trial was one of the recommendations by the CAS review. There are many other recommendations, for example, a data linkage study to basically check up on those who have already been on puberty blockers and to see how they're doing now as adults. That needs to be done, but they don't seem to be pushing for that. Now, this puberty blocker stuff, it just keeps going on and on and on. And it feels like, you know, when we make some progress, it's one step forward, two steps back. And maybe the first person to ring the alarm about blockers and the madness of it was Sue Evans back in 2005. So that's 2 decades ago. And since we've had cases at the High Court, we've had bans, we've had the results of the early intervention study from GIDS that showed that for about a third, going on these blockers didn't really improve their mental health at all. For another third it did, and for another third it got worse. So for 2/3 it either got worse or didn't have any impact. And there's been multiple systemic evidence reviews around the world that keep showing time and time again the paucity of evidence for this. So the excuse for this trial is there isn't any good evidence, so we need to get some. And this trial's a way of doing it. Except that the way it's been designed is not going to give us the answers that we need, because one of the biggest unknowns are the long-term effects. And they're only going to follow the kids that they put on it for about 2 years. So how are you going to get any insights into long-term effects if you don't follow them up long-term? Anyway, that's only one of the many criticisms of it. So I'm just going to look for where I need to go. Where do I need to go? I need the Department of Health and Social Care. And the really good thing about this protest in particular is that there's going to be MPs speaking from different political parties. So we've got a Labour MP, Tory MP, also a Reform councillor, so that'll make people go, oh my God, right wing, evil, ah! And there's an independent MP, like Rosie Duffield, maybe, and another one potentially. Anyway, so what we're seeing now is this is now more a cross-party thing, which is really good. We really need to show that this goes way beyond political party lines. So I think that's progress. Right, I'm going to check where I'm going.
If you want to support my reporting, then you can do so monthly via Patreon, or send me a one-off tip via PayPal, or on here via Super Thanks.
I'm a bit early, but I think we're going to get a good crowd today. And also what's been amazing is if you compare this to a few years ago, just how much more noise and pushback there is against this now. Like Kemi Badenoch, she also put a letter together that she's had signed by a whole bunch of MPs and lords and things. Oh, do you know what? I'm early, but there's already a counter-protest here. Right, Let's see if they want to talk to me. Right, it's that organisation, Trans Kids Deserve Better. Right, just say good morning. Morning! Hiya! Morning! Hi! Hello. Right, they're a bit shy. Right, let's get the sign in. Biological sex. Oh, it's what I had with your mother last night. Really? I mean, come on, do you think that's the way to get your message across, is to say I had sex with your mother? I do wonder sometimes, you know, if you think about the sort of messages that you're putting out here. And if this, yeah, I know, I've seen your flag, it's fine. And if, oh, here we go. Hands off trans rights. Right, because being sterilized is a right, I guess. Trans kids deserve better. Okay. Would anybody like to say why they're here and what they're protesting? I have a fancy stick that you can speak into. Because I'm protesting the trial as well, but for different reasons. Do you want anybody wanna say something? Hiya, morning. It's okay. You can film me. You can take pictures. How are you doing? Would you like to say why you're protesting the trial? Oh, here we go again. I had sex with your mother.
Biological sex.
Sorry?
Biological sex.
You had biological sex with my mother?
Last night.
Right, you think that's a good message to put out, to get people to listen to you and go, oh wow, what a great argument.
Do you think it's a good idea to video trans kids?
To video kids?
Yes.
Well, you're in a public place.
And you're videoing kids?
Yeah, we're in public. And obviously they're bold enough to stand here with these signs and stuff. Oh, here comes Mike. First, do no harm. Yeah, now that's a message I can get behind. Not all this, I had biological sex with your mother last night. I mean, what the hell? You just make yourself look like an absolute bunch of perverts. You had sex with my mother, really? That's your best argument? My mum is 77.
There are many, many more of us than you. There are many, many more of us than you. There are many, many more. Many, many.
Got it. I've got it anyway. You don't need to do that. I've got it already. And now I've got the chance.
Can shove your turvy views up your arse. You can shove your turvy views up your arse.
Your Toby who?
You can shove your turvy views.
Turfy views.
Shove your turvy views up your arse. No borders, no nations, trans liberation. No borders, no nations, trans liberation. Trans healthcare, trans affirming care is like...
Trans healthcare is an oxymoron.
It's life-saving care.
No. You're sterilizing kids. You're sterilizing kids.
It's life-saving care.
You're advocating for the sterilization of mostly autistic kids and those who grow up to be LGB. That's what you're doing. Yeah, I've got your sign already, mate. No worries. This is absolutely fucking ridiculous. Is that the best you've got? Really? Really? I asked you if you wanted to say something and you didn't. LGB, drop the T. LGB, drop the T. LGB, drop the T. LGB, drop the T. Yeah, drop the T. You bunch of homophobic.
Off our street.
It's not your street. It's not your street. It's not your streets. These are not your streets. These are not your streets. They're not your streets, mate. They are not your streets. They're not your streets. Yeah, you know who experimented on kids? The Nazis. Just like you want. It was the Nazis experimenting on kids, and that's what you want to be done by the state now. They're not your streets. They're not your streets. They're not your streets. They're not your streets. No, they're not your streets. They're not your streets. They're not your streets. Right, as per usual, they've got nothing positive to say. So now I'm on the other side of the street where our crowd is beginning to gather. Now, what do our signs say? Ours say, stop transing kids. So there's no lewd messaging on our side. Oh, hello. Block the trial! Block the trial! Not kids' puberty. Fantastic. Okay. And we've got our Turf Island flag. Woohoo! And a few more signs here. Now, there is police presence, but I've been told that they're not going to keep us separate from the others. So they could come over and join us, I guess. Right, and here we have a sign, don't trans the gate away, stop the streeting trial. Right, I'm going to switch this microphone on. Can I ask you about this? Okay.
Mr. Melle, right?
That's the one. Right. How are you doing?
I'm very good, thank you.
And a silly question maybe, but why did you come here today?
Because I'm one of the gay kids that would have been transed. I would have fallen for this had it been around when I was alive. When I was alive? But when I was a kid, I would have absolutely fallen for this hook, line and sinker. It's
right.
difficult growing up gay, but kids need to grow up. Puberty is the cure. So. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I would have been one of those kids too.
Yeah.
You know, we were lucky.
Yeah.
We dodged the bullet just by being born.
We definitely did.
Earlier. I was born in the 70s, and you?
The same.
70s baby.
Great decade, yeah. No.
It was.
So, it's so scary.
When did you sort of first start to take notice of this stuff, of puberty blockers and the threat it could pose, particularly to kids who just grow up to be LGBT?
Yeah, I was trying to find out kind of why my work were trying to get these pronouns, and I started looking into it, and I was going, well, hang on a minute, this is me. So I started studying and reading more about it, and I read Hannah Barnes's book, Time to Think, and that was the one that really opened my eyes to what was going on here, and I realised there's no difference between me and those kids. It would have been me too. And yeah, we need to let them have the opportunity to grow up into gay adults like I am. You know, my wife wouldn't have loved me if I'd done that to myself.
Yeah.
You know, we've been together for a long time.
What would you say to those who say there's no such thing as transing away the gay?
Well, I think all the evidence suggests, you know, that there's not a lot of evidence on that side of the argument. There's a whole lot of evidence on the other side of the argument that says that most of the kids that, go through this path and down this pathway, they're gay or they're autistic or they're running away from sexual abuse or something like that. You know, there's loads of evidence on that side of the argument. There is not a whole lot of evidence on the other side of the argument.
Thank you. Right, let's have a good protest.
Yes, indeed.
Right, more signs, please. First, do no harm.
Mr. Meadow.
How are you?
Good, thanks. Yep.
I've seen you at a few other protests.
Yeah, I'm very committed. I don't believe there's such thing as a trans kid. I believe there are children young people confused. Often they are. When the Tavistock Clinic closed down, we found out that a lot of those referrals were autistic or children who would later turn out to be gay, and they don't fit into the sort of stereotypical girlies or boyish boys, but they might be beginning to question their sexuality, and giving them drugs and putting them on a medical pathway to become patients for life is plain wrong.
Well, let's get that message over to Wes loud and clear.
Yeah.
Thanks for being here today. Okay, this crowd is growing. So there's more people gathering now. Gay teens aren't sick. Gay teens aren't sick. Fantastic. I'm so glad that this message is now getting out loud and clear. Oh, and there's more and more of us. Hello, hello. We meet again.
How are you?
I'm good. And some proper flags?
Yeah.
Yep.
It's our 199, just
Hello.
to support and make sure that everything goes tickety-boo today.
If I may,
Yep.
I'll take a couple steps backwards so we can have the flow of people through here. That'd be lovely. Thank you.
Look at that. And another one, stop the trial. Yes, not puberty. Excellent. And here we have the hateful group, Not for Gays. Right, let me just switch my mic on. Actually, it's not all gays, but a recent judge, Mr. Camp, was camping it up in his judgment, in his ruling, referring to you as
not for gays, despite the fact we intervened in the actual tribunal itself in support of Sandy Peggy's lesbian daughter and the way that her sexuality was being misrepresented. So it's quite jarring that the judgment would then imply that we are not for gays or anti-gay, but we did receive acknowledgement, just a simple acknowledgement yesterday, the 16th, so we are waiting to hear back from the judge.
Right, because the whole point of Not All Gays is that you advocate for gay rights.
Yes.
Lesbians, gays, bisexuals.
Particularly young, same-sex attracted people, and not all gays support surrogacy, not all gays support the chemsex culture, not all gays support sterilising young children.
Right, and you've been, you spoke at the UN?
Yes, I spoke at the UN in October about how surrogacy is not a gay right or a human right, that it's exploitation, and that weaponising gay rights to push for surrogacy it does a disservice to our history as same-sex attracted people.
Do you think there's any way that this trial can be done that will be ethical?
I don't think, I really don't think so, and that's my personal opinion, but it's also in complete contravention to the Declaration of Helsinki, which explicitly states that you cannot perform a trial on minors if the risks outweigh the harm or any benefit or any possible benefit. And we already know from the data from CAS, from NICE, that there is no clear benefit of improved mental health or reduction in distress surrounding sex or gender or any sort of self-expression. So the harms already outweigh the risks, so we shouldn't be doing it.
What is Wes missing? What's he missing about this? What's he not getting?
That the majority of these children that are presenting at gender clinics with so-called gender distress are same-sex attracted. It's 89% of the girls presenting are lesbian or bisexual and 81% of the boys, and it's completely unacceptable. These drugs have historically been used to castrate homosexual men, including Alan Turing, so to have this done as some sort of experiment on children that simply can't, if you are in that much distress about your body, how you feel, you can't be able to consent. You're not in a position to be able to consent to a trial that you don't know the true outcomes of. You're not being informed. So I think Wes really needs to think about how homophobic this really is.
Great, thank you. Now, I love how those guys on the other side of the street were earlier chanting, "There's many, many more of us than you." Yeah, I don't think so, sweetheart. Oh my God, this crowd is growing. Look at that.
There's many, many more of us.
Yeah. I'm going to just go across the road and say that. Hey, earlier you were chanting, "There is many, many more of us than you." There aren't. There aren't more of you than us. You're wrong. You're wrong. There is many, many more of us than you. Look across the road. There are many, many more of us than you. Look across the road. There are many, many more of us than you. So just look at this crowd now. And more people joining as I speak. Get off the road quick or we're going to be run over. Hello, hello.
Hello.
Look at this. Earlier they were chanting, "There are many, many more of us than you." I'm like, look across the road, love.
Good to see you.
And you, look at all these signs. Oh my God. Right, you made an effort. Let me just switch that microphone on. Not saying you didn't, I mean you're here.
No, we didn't. We're here.
To be still careful, I'm not going to be in your way today. I've got a little stool that I can sit on now. Right. Reduced bone density. Oh, right. So these are the risks of puberty blockers. So reduced bone density, memory issues, lower IQ, near certain progression to wrong sex hormones. Yeah, about 98%, I think. Infertility, sexual dysfunction. And then when we point that out, they call us perverts, right?
Yeah.
Vaginal atrophy, micropenis, and incontinence. Right. So, if you had a message to Wes, one thing that you could say to him, what would it be?
Stop the trial, of course. Show a bit of backbone. Stand up for children. They're distressed, but they need better than this horrendous trial.
And you?
And especially stand up for the lesbian and gay children. They don't need medicalising, they need understanding and showing it's fine to be who they are without surgery and drugs.
And that's free.
Exactly.
However you wrap it up, puberty blockers harm vulnerable children. Beautiful sign.
She made both of them.
Oh, and here's a creepy one. Hiya. Oh, can I just get the... Hello. Hi, let me just get your sign in. Wes Streeting, leave... Oh, very good. That's based on that song by Pink Floyd, The Wall. Oh, that's creepy.
I like that.
So if you had just like a minute with Wes, what would you say?
I would say analyse the data you've already got, is what I'd say.
Right. Yeah, because the Cass Review had a ton of recommendations that don't involve drugging kids out of puberty.
Exactly, and I would say that puberty is an important birthright for all children.
Now, where do you think he actually stands on this? Do you think he's sort of trying to play to the TRAs, or do you think it's sort of a cop-out? Oh, well, the Cass Review said we must do it, so we must do it, or...?
I think that he's actually very uncertain about this whole thing. I mean, he's gay himself, so he must know that so many of these young children are likely to grow up to be gay, and that's absolutely fine. And I think he's very uncertain about it himself.
Okay, well, thanks.
Thank you.
Well, oh, let's do one of these wipey things. I mean, okay, so here we go now. No child is born in the wrong body. Stop the trial. Hi. Hello, hello. Stop the trials. Puberty blockers harm children for life.
Yes.
Stop the trial before Christmas. I like that. Hello. These are fantastic. You know, there's signs that they have on the other side. It says biological sex is what I had with your mother last night. Yeah, lovely, isn't it? Fantastic. Standing with the Darlington nurses. I think some of them might be here today. Stop the reckless puberty blocking trial. That's Christian Concern. Oh, hello. And it's Jennifer and Melle is here as well. Oh, this is... Hello. Adolescence is... Afternoon. Adolescence is not an illness. Don't treat it like one. Exactly.
Don't poison our kids.
Right, you've got 1 minute with Wes. What are you going to say to him?
I'm going to say don't poison our kids. Look at what's already happened at JIDS. Find out where the children are that have already been given this poison. Stop poisoning our children.
Now, we know all these things. Why is he still going ahead with it?
Government won't listen to reality. Government are bound over by this bastard ideology. We're not having it. We're here to protest. We are saying no to these tests.
Excellent. Thanks for being here today. And all the way from up north? How are you?
I'm all right, how are you?
This is going to be a good crowd, huh?
It is.
Earlier they were chanting there are many, many more of us than you, so I just went back and I'm like, no, you're not. No,
they can't even count.
No. And their sign, the sign that they have is, biological sex is what I had with your mum last night.
Well, that's unfortunate. My mother's dead. That just makes them...
Oh, my God.
Do they really look like the sort of people who you'd be happy making decisions about children's healthcare?
Well, most of them are children as well.
Yeah.
And when I said, no, you didn't, they just went, oh, better check with your mum then. What? Yeah. Anyways, crazy. Hello.
Hello.
What's on your flag? Oh, let's have a look at another flag. Oh, stop the puberty blockers trial. This is fantastic. Stop the trial. First, do no harm. Right, these messages are all very clear.
One of these t-shirts, I've got one for you in my bag.
Hello. Do you mind if I film something? Here we have Jennifer. How do I pronounce your surname? Is it Melle? Melle. Jennifer Melle, who's currently got her own ordeal. And you had a hearing that was just cancelled at the last minute?
Cancelled on the 9th of September.
Right.
No, on the 9th of December, I was meant to have a meeting about me returning back to work, but then I think something, because of the media, press, and all the news has been going on. I suppose because of also the MP that have written to the workplace. Because of that, I suppose that's why they cancelled my meeting, but they've left me in a limbo at the moment. They haven't received any feedback. And yes.
So it looks like 2026 is going to be quite a year.
Another year to start another journey with this case, which
Very
should have
stressful.
been closed by now.
Right.
Yes.
And you got racist abuse from a pedophile.
Yes.
Because you said you called a man
Because I called a man a man. I got abused and, he launched at me, nearly attacked me.
Right.
And I was left to crumble on my own.
Yes.
The RCN left me deserted.
I'm so sorry that they've put you through that.
Yes.
And that you now still have quite a long way to go.
Yes, but I really thank God for Christian Concern that have been, fighting this case for me and for supporting me throughout this journey. It's been such a blessing, and for us to say no to puberty blockers to our young people, which is literally abuse to our young people and it's against God's law.
And I want to thank you for taking this on, because it takes an awful lot of courage. I can't imagine what kind of stress you're under. So I want to wish you all the best for next year, and I'll be fingers crossed for a good result.
Thank you so much for your support.
Stay strong. Well, this crowd is getting bigger and bigger. Hello. Oh, we've even got barricades. Oh, look, it's a nice deep crowd as well. Hello, thank you all for coming. Stop the trial. That's the message. Thank you, careful. Look at that. And there's the beautiful flag. Now that's the shot I wanted. Excellent. Right. Oh, sorry, let me just get... 220 child sacrifices on the altar of stereotyping boys and girls.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree.
It is, absolutely. That's the whole nub of it.
Right.
Boys do this, girls do that, load of rubbish. If you've got a Y, you're a boy. If you haven't, you're a girl. End of.
And as a boy and as a girl, you can be whatever the hell you want.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's all based on regressive stereotypes.
Rubbish.
So thanks for pointing it out with your time, because that's what we need people to understand.
Yeah.
Another one.
Sex Matters in the house.
Thank you very much.
And today's a big day for Sex Matters as well, right? If you want.
Yeah, so today is a big day for Sex Matters. My colleague Maya is in the High Court at the permissions hearing for our request to judicially review the policy at the Hampstead Ponds. So the policy of using gender self-ID rather than sex to give admissions to the men and women's ponds. And so she can't be here. So we're here at the Puberty Blockers trial to call on Wes Streeting, the Health Secretary, and say to him, stop this trial. Don't experiment on kids. We shouldn't be doing this anyway, but there are 2,000 children who have already been exposed to these drugs, and we have not yet analysed the data on those children. They need to do that first. We could just do the data linkage study, which just tells us their health outcomes. That's a paper exercise. It would tell us things like, have any of them hurt themselves? Have they had any mental health admissions? What's their physical health like? What diagnoses have they got? Just that sort of basic data for those 2,000 kids that would inform us about whether or not this is at all a sensible thing to be doing. I want to know what they think they're hiding. Like, why have they not looked for that data? Why are they not trumpeting it? If this is such a great treatment, they must want that data to be published.
And also, Wes knows these things. So why is he still pushing ahead?
Well, I think it's that sort of diffuse responsibility thing. He He accepted the CAS review, and this was one of 32 recommendations that CAS made, but she thought they'd do the data linkage study first. And she has said in an interview since that if it hadn't got ethical approval, she wouldn't have bothered her at all. She's not committed to this. But it got passed from Wes to NHS England, to the Health Research Authority, to the Research Ethics Committee, which looked at a really narrow question about short-term outcomes of these drugs, said yes, and nobody has taken responsibility for saying, is this even a sensible thing to do in the first place? The answer is no. We shouldn't be blocking children's puberty. Puberty is how you grow up. Children have the same right, gender-distressed children have the same right as other children to grow up healthy and safe.
Yeah. Now, one thing that strikes me about today is we've got quite a good crowd here.
We have.
And the fact that you're here today, Maya's in court today, there's so much happening at the moment. Jennifer Melle, I hope I said that right, I just asked her, but now I've forgotten how to say it. Melle, she's out at the front. There's so many cases happening now. It feels like things are really ramping up, and the pushback is really gaining momentum. What do you think 2026 is going to look like?
I mean, we're just going to have to keep pushing, but I mean, I thought we'd be much further along by now, because honestly, the Supreme Court judgment was so clear that, I mean, I keep quoting a lawyer who was there in April who turned around and said to me, there's nothing left for us to do. Like in April we thought there was nothing left to do. But they're so determined to undermine and obfuscate that clarity. So we're going to have to fight the whole way, every step of it. More fighting. That's what's going to be in 2026.
Keep on turfing.
Thanks, Menno.
Thank you. Right, Stella and Melle from Genspect. How are you doing?
Very well. Delighted to be here.
It's a good crowd, huh?
Yeah, better crowd than trans activists. I think it's great that there's so many people willing to turn up week before Christmas.
And so many from so many different organisations, different points of view. Yeah.
Isn't it great to just see lots of people from different strands of the same debate coming together to say this should be stopped. Whatever else happens, this should be stopped.
I think that's one of the good things, because sometimes in this movement it feels like one step forward, two steps back. But now it feels like we're getting away from this. It's like a right-wing issue, or now it's much more a cross-party thing.
It's always been a cross-party thing, but it's always been very difficult to get the message out that this is not right-wing, this is not Christian, this is an issue about protecting children, and it's an issue about giving kids the freedom to grow up and have, 100% potential future, rather than putting them onto a fast-track pathway that will leave them medicalised for the rest of their life.
And you've been at this for a good few years. You made your documentary, Trans Kids...
2018.
2018. Oh. So when I first started going down the rabbit hole, that was one of the first things I found. And overall, I thought it was a great documentary. So I want to thank you for that.
Thank you.
Then there's the whole story of how they tried not to have it made, or how Susie Green tried to get involved. It's a long slog, but how are you feeling about 2026?
It's interesting when somebody brings that back, and I remember how it feels like a different planet, 2018, and just how different it all was, and how few people knew anything about it, and how far we've gone and how strong we are. I think 2026 is going to go our way. I think every single year we've made another step. And I know it does feel that we take one step forward and two steps back, but actually each year we're gaining ground, there's no doubt about it, and I think we're continuing to gain ground.
If you had a brief moment with Wes, one-on-one, what would your message be to him?
I'd say, you're going to regret this, Wes. You should stop this trial, and you should start the data linkage trial, and you'll be remembered forever if you do that. And if you continue this road, it's going to haunt you for the rest of your political career.
Right. I'm looking forward to your speech later.
Thank you. Yikes.
Have a good protest. Thank you. Right, and Venice is hello. Venice is hey, hello. Oh, sorry, you're on the phone.
No, it's okay.
Okay. Do you mind being filmed? Now you're kind of out, aren't you?
Yes, no, I am. I'm very out. How are you, Mr. Menno?
You just call me Menno, right?
I've been dumped with all of the...
With all the stuff, right. So this is Thea, who was in one of my earlier videos about Trans Pride London, but I had to block her face out everywhere, which wasn't easy, but...
I'm sorry about that.
But now you're putting your face and your name to it. There was an article about you, and was it the Telegraph? old?
Yeah. That was just a few days ago. It's been a bit of a change, but I think it's really necessary. With CUSW, there are so many girls who can't speak out, so I think that I kind of need to fill the role and speak for them. So that's kind of the position where I'm at. But yeah, I mean, it's been interesting. We've had so much support, though. I mean, of course, there's been backlash, but
right, because now you're also part of the Cambridge Women's Society. Is that what the name?
Cambridge University Society of Women. Yeah.
Wow. And you've had a good response to that, haven't you?
Yes. Yeah. I mean, very, very positive on the whole. I mean, obviously, there's been a lot of bullying by the students. But the academics have got involved, and that's really great. We have lots and lots of new members, so I've made some friends.
Good.
After obviously the whole cancellation situation from last year.
Yeah.
So it's been great.
And it's good to have something specifically for young women.
Yes, exactly. We've had amazing speakers in already. We had Jo Bartosh and Nimco Ali.
Yeah, she's amazing.
It's been really exciting.
How do you feel about 2026?
Hopeful. I say with bated breath. I mean, I don't know. I think things have been very messy lately, but I think that there is, look at the turnout today.
It's fantastic. And like earlier, I was on the other side where the TRAs are.
Yeah. Oh, is there?
There's a bunch of them, not many, maybe 20. And they were like, there are many, many more of us than you. And I'm like, look across the road.
And this has only just started.
Yes, it's great.
I know loads of people who are coming later, so.
Excellent. Right, have a good one.
Yeah, have a good one. Nice to talk to you.
Right, and here's Venice, who's one of the organisers, with a big sign, "Stop the trial." There we go.
Oh, yeah.
Right, so here's the sound system. Let me get up here and see if I can get a good view. Hello. Hi. Right. Okay, look at that. Hey everybody! Everyone, turn around. Come and face me for a second. And then on 3, 2, 1, we all go, stop the trial. 3, 2, 1.
Stop the trial!
And again.
Stop the trial!
And again.
Stop the trial!
Because I don't think he can hear us. Wes Streeting, you need to.
Stop the trial!
Woo! That was the warm-up. We've got to keep turfing. Perfect. That's going to be great.
Yeah, good work.
Good work. Right, can I just get your sign in there? Don't put it away. Puberty is a human right.
Yeah, definitely.
Right. And what made you put this together today?
It's such a vast subject why this is so wrong. I mean, the whole thing, but especially the children and the puberty blockers. I loved your song about get onto the blockers, by the way.
Everybody get on the transition train now. Come on, children,
get onto the blockers. Yeah, well, I don't know. I was thinking, just a series of different things went through my mind, and I think puberty is a human right is a very basic slogan.
Yes.
It cuts through a lot of the other stuff.
Yeah, it's good to keep it simple.
I mean, all the other stuff about, gay teens is highly relevant, but, puberty is a human right is really basic.
Well, that gets to the core of it, doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I think. So that's what's brought me here today.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you, Mr. Melle.
Melle, look at us. Ma'am?
Ah!
Ma'am?
Oh.
We're in the picture, Melle. Get in the picture. Well done. That's really good,
Thank you,
Melle. That's really good getting everyone to join.
Yeah.
Nice one.
Right.
I'm the one that sung your puberty blocker song at the folk club.
Ah, excellent. Hello.
Hey, how you doing?
This is fantastic.
This is amazing. Look at this.
Hello, hello. I've never met you, but can I just say thank you so much for all that work. I am filming. Do you mind if I ask? Are you together? Right. Huggies. Right. So here we have two of the Darlington nurses. Oh my days, this is fantastic. This is just amazing. Right, so first of all, I just want to say thank you so much for taking this on and going through all of this. I'm just going to use a swear word, but I'll keep it polite. What's it been like for you?
It's been a turbulent experience, but it's been a real privilege to stand up for women's rights and for their dignity and their respect as well. So,
and you've started a union?
We have, yes. So it's the Darlington Nursing Union, and we encourage women in the NHS and in healthcare to join this union and support other women.
How do you feel the tribunal went, and whether the panel?
We're just hopeful. That's all we can say. It's hard to tell. Yeah, nothing's been given away, so.
Okay.
We just wait and see. Yeah.
When are you expecting like a ruling?
So it was 3 months, so it should be about January, February time.
Okay. Now you had obviously a different judge, different panel.
Did you?
But when the Sandy Peggy ruling came through, what sort of an impact or impression did you get from that?
I mean, well, the judges used AI to provide. I mean, it's ridiculous, isn't it? Yeah, we're hopeful for Sandy. We're glad she's appealing, and we are supporting her as a union member. We love her dearly. So yes, yeah.
Isn't it just completely bonkers?
It's absolutely bonkers. Yes, yes, right. It absolutely is bonkers. But we are prepared to fight for women and for single-sex spaces.
Right. And do you have after all this turbulent experience, do you have like a nice Christmas to look forward to?
We do, yes, we do, with our family, and we've met up with the other nurses who are part of the case, and it's been great to just, reconnect with them, and yeah, we're looking forward to a lovely Christmas.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Well, thank you again. And thanks for coming today.
Thank you.
I'm also here as Baroness Fox of Buckley. Who the hell is she? I wanted to say that I'm only here because I'm gobby, and the person who we should just give a big cheer to, who's organised this, is Venice Allen. Two things to announce. I'm in a state of shock because I've just had a cup of coffee with the Darlington Nurses Union. And I haven't got over fangirling over them, and they're somewhere in the crowd. Can we just give a shout out? The other important thing to note is that there is an urgent question in the Commons on this very issue. So a number of our MP speakers are delayed putting this question, inspired by this protest, to the Prime Minister and to the government. Thank goodness for that, right? These trials are unnecessary, ridiculous, unethical. We have words that we could use that we won't use because we're baronesses. As far as I am concerned, Wes Streeting needs to hear us, needs to know that parents, activists, grassroots campaigners and parliamentarians from every single party across the House think that this is absolutely disgraceful, and they need to be halted, and they need to listen to us. So that's why we're here, to say to Wes Streeting, who, let's be fair, has been reasonable on this question, to now stop just being reasonable and to actually say it is unreasonable to have these trials. That's what we're here for, and we're not going to stop in general until they're halted. That's what it's all about. Right, I'm going to introduce our first MP speaker, who, to his credit, was one of the first people who wrote a letter objecting to the trials. And that is Rupert Lowe. He's the independent P for Great Yarmouth, founder of Restore Britain. And it's a testament to Rupert that he put his head above the parapet before others. But we are today, of all days, not sectarian, because all parties are represented. Rupert Lowe, give him a big cheer.
Claire. Well, good afternoon, everybody. And Claire, thank you very much for that introduction. You forgot to say that I'm an ex-Reform MP as well, and Brexit MEP with you. There is a poisonous, woke ideology that has torn through our public institutions. Schools, hospitals, universities, the entire NHS.
That's it.
It has captured people who were meant to protect children. It has forced life-altering medication onto confused young children. And they are confused. They are not sick, they are not diseased, and they are not broken. They're simply confused. That is all. To put these boys and girls through irreversible medical procedures is child abuse. We should have the courage to call it what it is. Child abuse. If professionals have ignored evidence or caused permanent harm, then they must be investigated, held accountable, and yes, prosecuted where appropriate. And I include politicians in that. It is evil. There is no other word for it. Pure evil. If a medical professional has deliberately inflicted lifelong harm on a confused young child in order to satisfy some sick political ideology, then they should go to prison. We will keep the fight going in Parliament. We've all forced the establishment to move on this before. We can do it again. Wes Streeting is behaving like Pontius Pilate. We must act. So I say to all of you, hold the line, and thank you for coming.
Thank you. Thank you. Is that better? Right, okay. Actually, I did want to say that Rupert summed up what many people feel, and it shows you that whatever your politics, on this we can be united, and that's hugely important. By way of contrast, in terms of politics, I now want to ask Zoe Hollowood, who is the founder of Liberal Voice for Women, who was recently elected to the Liberal Democrat Federal Policy Committee. I can't tell you how difficult it has been for people who are Liberal Democrats. Women fighting for women are being treated like dirt by too many people in the Liberal Democrats, but more and more women are coming out, and one of the reasons for that is the work of people like Zoe. So can we give her a huge welcome?
Wow, okay, hello everyone. Baroness Ludford, one of our Lib Dem peers, sends her apologies. Okay, so today you get me, and I am pleased to speak here as Chair of Liberal Voice for Women. Now, I am a scientist, oh God. Now, I am a scientist who works in clinical trials, and earlier this week I asked a colleague, a medical doctor, what he thought of this proposed trial. His response was blunt. He called it an unethical experiment on children that's politically driven. And that phrase has stayed with me, and as I read a quote by Cass, who said, the reality of the environment that we're working in means that the immediate pressure was to find some answers about puberty blockers. Pressure, environment, these are revealing words. But what is meant by this environment is often left unsaid, but some briefings are more candid. Parents, we are told, are taking children overseas to access puberty blockers, bypassing UK safeguards. There is concern that these children are not being monitored or receiving the care they need. The belief, though, is that running another trial, one that could definitively demonstrate these negative impacts of puberty blockers, would reduce this behaviour, this demand. But this is not a scientific problem, it's a policy problem. It belongs to the realm of politics, legislation, regulation and public education. To pull this into the domain of clinical trials, I believe, is to misuse science for political purposes. And even if we set aside the serious ethical concerns about the risks of this trial, this premise of affecting behaviour change is deeply naive. There is already overwhelming evidence that any data that runs contrary to the views of pro-medicalisation activists carries little weight in this arena. We have seen this with the CAS review. Any findings that challenge pro-medicalisation viewpoints or even aim to safeguard children are dismissed as transphobic or infantilising before they are even read. Because what is called gender medicine is not governed by the ordinary rules of medicine at all. It is anchored in belief. And belief is not shifted by evidence. No single trial can compete with the scale and force of misinformation being directed at susceptible, vulnerable children through activist teachers, radical RSE providers and influencers on social media. Children in distress absolutely deserve compassion, but they are being sold a fiction that their distress can be resolved by irreversibly changing, even harming their healthy bodies. A clinical trial will not correct that fiction. If the real issue is that banned drugs are being sourced overseas due to propaganda, then the answer is legislation, enforcement, and disrupting the misinformation that fuels this demand. Those who promote and platform unevidenced and harmful drugs for children should be treated the same as those who promote other forms of harm to children, whether that's in online environments or in the classroom. If the issue is a weak evidence base, then we begin where medicine always should. First, do no harm. We conduct the data linkage studies on the children who've already been exposed to these drugs. And if the issue is that children are in distress, then we invest in mental health services and we provide that support. As a scientist, when hearing evidence is lacking, it's instinctive to want to gather more data. But to a hammer, everything looks like a nail. This trial is not the answer to the problems at hand, nor to the influential environment distressed children face. Risking irreversible harm to hundreds of children in the hope that evidence will persuade those whose beliefs are firmly ideologically held is at best naive and at worst utterly reckless. Wes, please think again. Pause this trial, prioritise the data linkage study and strengthen and enforce the legislation that you already have in place. Thank you.
Brilliant speech, and just because it might have got missed at the beginning, it was Baroness Sarah Ludford who for the Lib Dems bravely speaks against the crowd, and she's not able to be here, but I think Zoe did a brilliant job of representing the Lib. I just would like to say, as a free speaker, I get completely irritated that every time the government wants to ban something, censor somebody, shut somebody up, they say think of the children. When I then say to them, in relation to this, think of the children, they look the other way. It is so two-faced, two-tier, double standards. Right. Our next speaker, apparently Tom Tugendhat is somewhere in the crowd, and if he is, can he come back here? Because we're waiting for you. But anyway, in the meantime, our next speaker is Layla Cunningham. Layla is a former senior Crown prosecutor who is now Councillor for Reform in Westminster City Council. God knows this woman doesn't mince her words, and we're delighted to have her here. Layla.
Hello everyone. We're here today for one simple reason. Children are being used as experimental subjects in a medical trial that should never ever have been approved. 226 children on puberty blocker drugs that interfere with normal physical, neurological development for a condition that is subjective, disputed, and not a disease. That alone should stop this trial in its tracks. Now let's be absolutely clear. This is not about life-saving treatments. It's not about curing a physical illness. It's not supported by robust long-term evidence, and it is certainly not something children can give meaningful consent to. Children cannot consent, and I say this as being a child once, and I remember how foolish I was, cannot consent to risks like impaired brain development, loss of fertility, reduced bone density, and permanent sexual dysfunction. Those harms are acknowledged already. So when officials say this is about choice or care, it's simply not true. This is about adults authorising irreversible risks on minors. Hello? That's the online safety billboard shutting me up. They are the first step on a medical pathway with increasingly serious consequences. Sorry. And the most disturbing part, to me, of the trial is the brain imaging component. It exists because researchers already suspect harm to the brain based on animal studies and evidence for people already treated for precocious puberty. But even this element is voluntary. Many children will not undergo this if the trial goes ahead, and that means the data is likely to be not valid statistically. So we are exposing children to risks without even ensuring that the research will be meaningful. That's not science, ladies and gentlemen. That is ideology. And let's talk about who these children are. They are disproportionately vulnerable. They are children with autism, children with mental health problems, children who have been bullied for being gay, and children who have experienced abuse. These are not resilient, empowered patients. These are children in distress, and instead of addressing that trauma, the safeguarding failures or the mental health needs, the system is offering to medicalise them.
Disgusting.
That is not compassion, that is a betrayal of their childhood. That is a betrayal of a state that is meant to look out for them. Because there is an enormous institutional pressure for the government to appear progressive. Even if that means disregarding basic medical ethics. But let's be clear, children are not political symbols. They're not data points, and they are not expendable. This trial must be stopped immediately. History will judge us, and will judge whoever allows this to go through on how a modern healthcare system allowed itself to experiment on vulnerable children without evidence, without safeguards, and if it wasn't for us, without accountability. And let's imagine that this horrific trial is declared a success. Is the plan to roll it out nationally? To normalise puberty blockers in the NHS? To tell parents that the science is settled, when it absolutely is not? This trial will not give us robust answers, but I tell you what it will give. It will give politicians just enough ambiguity to claim cover. The state has a duty to protect children from harm, even and especially when adults insist they know better. Instead, the government is choosing to appease activists. This trial has no scientific purpose. It has no meaningful success criteria. and it has a very obvious political function. The role of the state is not to experiment first and apologise later. It is to not outsource safeguarding to ideology, and it is certainly not to sacrifice vulnerable children to keep political coalitions intact. And we are here to say, not in our name, not on our watch, and not with our children.
I can't keep getting up and down on that step, right?
You're doing better than I would, Claire.
That was absolutely excellent. Thank you, Lola. If you look around, you'll see the slogan, "Gay teens aren't sick." LGBT Alliance have been, from the start, raising the alarm on this. So I'm delighted now to ask Kate Barker, the CEO of LGBT Alliance, to address us. This is a neglected area, because when we say that children are vulnerable, and Lola is absolutely right on that, many of them are not vulnerable, not sick, not ill, they're just gay. They're lesbians. Guess what? It's not a crime, it's not an illness, and if they're allowed to grow into it, they'll enjoy every bloody minute of it, won't they?
Oh, yes.
Right, Kate Barker, can I have you on the platform? Sorry, Kate.
Thanks. I wonder where she was veering off to at the end there. Can I have everybody wave their sign who's got a gay teen? Yay! Brilliant, thank you. Look, it's no coincidence that there are so many people here from LGBT Alliance today. And thank you. And that is because there's a really long and ugly history of the medicalisation of homosexuality. And this trial is the latest iteration of that. So we know that at the gender clinics, most of the children would grow up to be lesbian, gay or bisexual. And I think Wes's stated discomfort around this is because he knows that. And I think he knows as well that when Kemi Badenoch labels so-called gender-affirming care as transing away the gay, I think Wes knows that she's right about that as well. Yeah. And I think he should feel uncomfortable. I think he should feel uncomfortable that he, as the first out gay man to run the health department, is going to be enabler-in-chief of a trial that is unethical, it's unscientific, and it's absolutely unconscionable that gay youth are going to be under attack like this. So we would say, Wes, there is still time. Please leave gay kids alone. Gay teens aren't sick, and please stop the trial.
That message should go loud and clear. I mean, can you imagine a Labour Party attacking gay and lesbian children? I mean, you couldn't get more grotesque than that. So anyone who's here from the Labour Party, you really need to put the pressure on. This is the Labour government. They can't have this happen. It is ridiculous and disgusting. The next speaker is a psychotherapist, an author, the founder and director of Genspect, hardly needs introduction, Stella O'Malley. The work of psychotherapy, the work of therapists in relation to this is a mixed bag. Too many people who work in therapy have gone along with this ideology and have tried to silence those people who go against it. Stella will not be silenced, and we're delighted that her voice will be heard here today. Thank you, Stella.
Hi. Yeah, well done to Venice for bringing everybody together. I think it's really special that we have all managed to come from all the different strands. There's feminists here, there's lesbians here, there's women's rights, there's gay men here, I've met quite a few concerned parents. There's also detransitioners here. and there's psychotherapists and doctors. The last time I was at a demo, I was singing Free Nelson Mandela. So I'm not used to this kind of world, but it's a measure of how awful this situation is that I've come over here the week before Christmas to say this trial should be stopped. Tonight, today, right now in London and in Britain, there's lost and lonely kids who are going online. They might have had a fight with their mates. They might think they're same-sex attracted. They might be autistic. One way or the other, they're not happy, which is quite common in adolescence. And they're being led down a pathway that tells them that they can be somebody different, with a different name and a different body. And it's a false promise. And it's devastating when they go far down that line and they have their puberty blocked because doctors have told them that they can be something that they can't be. And they end up in a dead end where they find, as one detransitioner said to me, I crossed the river but I never got to the other end, I never got to the other side. And I know one detransitioner who was part of the original puberty blockers trial as such in England. You know, he said, I was drawing daisies and hearts on my consent form. You know, I was a kid, I didn't know what I was doing. And that is, of course, these are children, so they're believing what the adults are telling them. And sometimes an issue transcends everything. It transcends medicine, it transcends science, it transcends politics. This is about just doing the right thing. Wes Streeting is the man who has this mess upon his lap. And it's his job now to kind of call a halt to it. He can do something else. He can take a pivot and he can say, let's open up the data linkage trial. Let's follow the 2,000 children that have already had their puberty blocked. I've met many of them. Some of them are very unhappy. Some feel that they've passed the point of no return, so they feel they can't revert back. Some of them are trying to detransition. An awful lot of them are very unhappy. And we could follow up those, and then we would have a real result of what happens when you block a child's puberty, block their sexual awakening, and block their ability to go into adulthood with a free future. So thanks everybody to Helen for bringing it all together.
Part of this fight is a battle for hearts and minds. We still have a long way to go. We know that generationally, a lot of young people in particular have been sold this ideology as progressive and told that if they go against it, they are bigots. The reason I'm saying that as a way of introducing my next speaker is because she has been somebody who's been at the forefront of talking to young people and making it clear that in fact our side are not the bigots, we're the anti-bigots. And the person that I want to introduce now is famous, important, being a voice that's changed so many hearts and minds, and that's Helen Joyce from Sex Matters. Helen, we owe you a great debt in terms of what Sex Matters has done and what you personally have contributed to turning the heads of young people. I believe that we should corrupt the youth in that kind of a way, and Helen's been at the leading edge of that. Helen Joyce.
I'm not sure that's precisely the introduction I wanted. I have to say thank you to Venice before I say anything else. Without her, this wouldn't have happened today. So I'm here with my colleague Fiona McEnena from Sex Matters, and Maya Forstater, our CEO, is in the High Court right now at the permissions hearing for the PONS judicial review that we're bringing. So there's so much going on. I just want to say two short things. One is the trial cannot possibly provide any evidence that is in any way helpful to anyone. All they are doing is giving half of these children what these poor children have been indoctrinated into thinking they want now, and making the other half wait for a year. That's it. And they're following them up for a short. Anyone who knows anything about children will know that the ones who get what they want so desperately now will be delighted, and the ones who have to wait will be very sad and then delighted. We do not need to analyse that data to know this. We know it now. It's not going to tell us anything about how they feel when they're adults, when they're in their 30s and they realise finally what it means to have given up the chance of parenthood, what it means not to have gone through puberty with their friends, why they're behind, why they missed out on crucial moments of their youth. It cannot possibly show those things. What could show some of those things, and this is the second thing I want to say, is the data linkage trial. 2,000 children, as Stella said, have already been exposed to puberty blockers in this country. And absolutely disgracefully, the adult gender clinics refused to cooperate with Hilary Cass and to provide the data that she needed to know how they are doing now. I know it's not the same as a randomised control trial, but it is 2,000 kids. We do not need to put any more children at risk, and it's much longer time frames. Right now we could find out how those children are doing in broad terms. Have any of them hurt themselves or done worse than that? Have they been admitted to hospital for mental health issues? How is their physical health? Just generally, how are they? What diagnoses do they have? If we don't know those things about children we have already exposed, how dare we expose any more? So there has been a crisis of responsibility here. Everybody has passed it off to someone else. Hilary Cass said she would have been happy if this didn't get ethical approval. She's left it to the Ethics Committee. Wes Streeting handed it off to the NHS England. They handed it off to the Human Research Authority. They handed it off to the Ethics Committee. The Ethics Committee just looked at this little design, which isn't very good. They should have said no. Nobody is standing up and saying, I take responsibility. There is now only one person who can do that, and it is Wes Streeting. We elect people to take responsibility, to make decisions. He's the Health Secretary. He's a gay man himself. He has said that he is uncomfortable about this. Wes, I am begging you, on behalf of every child who needs to grow up healthy, every child in this country, say to them, do that data linkage study first, and if you can come back and tell me that those children are in great shape, they love it, they loved having their puberty blocked, brilliant, then you can do it to some more of them. But until you can show me that, no, you are not to do this. Wes, please, get that data first.
What is so disgusting, following on from what Helen has just said, is that the Cass review was very important to all of us. It was a mover of the Overton window, and it seems to me such a disgrace that they're using the Cass review now as an excuse to do something which actually might have been handed on by Cass, actually didn't advocate it in the same way. And it just is a typical way that they gaslight us into believing that somehow, oh, we're only doing what you asked us to do, we're just implementing the Cass review, and you just think, something about the two-facedness of that drives me mad. Now, is Dennis Kavanagh around?
Dennis! Where is he? Here he is. He's coming.
He's coming, right. Sorry.
Hello.
Dennis Kavanagh is a barrister, director of the Gay Men's Network, general troublemaker, and therefore we're delighted to have him here. Dennis.
On this side of the street today, we stand against 21st century gay conversion therapy. A puberty blocker is an anti-gay, anti-lesbian chemical weapon. Over on that side of the street, they call back to the past. They believe gay teens are sick. They believe gay teens need chemical and surgical correction. What was the electrode to the testicles yesterday is the chemical castration of today. 80% of the boys and 90% of the girls at the Tavistock were same-sex attracted. In the population, we're about 2-3%. If trans is naturally occurring, there is no explanation for that figure being so high other than we are witnessing gay conversion therapy on the NHS. And it is wonderful to see so many people here, wonderful to see so many straight people standing with gays and lesbians, but we shouldn't be doing this in 2025. Gay and lesbian teenagers are not there on this trial for medical reasons, for scientific reasons, they're there for political reasons. Because this health secretary is too gutless to say no, I won't have children treated like this. No, I won't have little boys, little gay boys like he once was, subject to something that will give them osteoporosis, that will drop their IQ, that will set them apart from their peers. How dare our first gay health secretary, how dare he do this, and how dare he get on television to get his excuses in early and whinge about feeling uncomfortable. Well, I bet you feel uncomfortable, Wes, but I tell you this, not as uncomfortable as the generation of gays and lesbians you are going to condemn to being lifelong medical patients. You'll have to forgive me if I sound angry today, and that I don't deliver the sort of measured speeches for which I'm very grateful for the other speakers. But this is existential for gays and lesbians. We should not be out here doing gay rights again. We should not be persuading the NHS that there is nothing wrong with us. There was a dark joke at the Tavistock. They knew what they were doing was wrong. They said, soon there will be no gay people left. If we leave it to them, that will be the truth. That is why we must fight this. Puberty blockers are an anti-gay chemical weapon, and puberty is a human right.
Thank you very much. Rousing and just what we needed. Thank you. Hot-footed from the House of Commons chamber, we have, this is quite, Lieutenant Commander Tom Tugendhat, who is the Conservative MP for Tunbridge, and we're delighted now we're going to start seeing the MPs coming through from the House of Commons. But Tom, you're very welcome.
Thank you very much indeed. I hope you don't mind if I stick to just Tom rather than using ranks. There is a time in all of our lives when we start asking ourselves some really fundamental questions. Now, I don't know about you, but I remember that time of one of confusion, sometimes fear, certainly abandonment, and every now and again, genuine and utter terror. And in those moments, I was vulnerable. We're all vulnerable. We made decisions, certainly I did, that were at best described as not wise. My father had stronger words for them. We made decisions that could have cost us very dearly. And we made some decisions that we only got out of because of the love and support of those who know us best. That time in life is called puberty. And I'm really sorry, but there's no way to avoid it. There is no way out of it, there's no way round it, there's no way over it or under it. The simple truth is that it is part of the human existence. Whether you're a man or a woman, I'm afraid it is just life. Now there are answers, and those answers we know are the strength, the love, the support of family, community and friends. We know those answers are in knowing the truth about speaking about the genuine responsibilities that we have as individuals, to each other, to our families, to our friends, to our communities, to our wider society. But we also know that there are some untruths. There are some ways that people try to escape. Sadly, many of our young people turn to drugs or alcohol. And that's bad enough. But to have let's be honest, false prophets offering cures for life that is not a disease is a really troubling turn of events. I've been watching this debate, and I owe an apology to many people out there for not having raised my voice early enough. I must be honest. And I praise all of you who have. But frankly, if it comes to the moment where we're experimenting on 8-year-old children, and we're not willing to speak out, what are we here for? So let me pay huge tribute to those who have spoken out. To JK, who I know is a champion of many of ours. To Helen, who's here with us today. To my friend Kenny Badenoch, who has been clear at this for longer than I care to remember. And let me also pay tribute to all of you, because this is an argument, a debate, that is going to call on all of us to be clear. It's going to call on all of us to remember what the truth is, and not what we wish it were. It's going to call on all of us to remind those of us who are sitting just up the road here, where I was sitting only a few minutes ago, that they do actually have a decision and they do have a responsibility. Our job, the job of Parliament, the job of those you chose to represent you, is to listen to all those voices and to try to give them a priority, to try to give them a balance that means that decisions which are taken today can be lived with tomorrow. And the day that you are denying the life of a child, the opportunity to grow, gay or straight, male or female, the day that you are denying them the opportunity to have a normal human existence, whatever it may be, in whatever colour or shade of human life that may be, the day you are treating ordinary humanity as a medical condition to be treated, is the day that you're denying the truth, you are not prioritising those who are most in need, and you are experimenting on the most vulnerable. And that is wrong.
I thought it was about time I made a confession, which is, I have to say, I always believed I was born in the wrong body. My body has failed me so often, it's boring. I would like another one. It's also true that I've always been gender non-conforming. I was always one of those people that was never quite feminine enough. I was always one of those people who was awkward squad. And all I'm saying is, thankfully, nobody sent me to the doctor. Nobody sent me for drugs. And even though people might have looked at my body and thought it could do with improving, broadly speaking, they didn't send me to be butchered, to have bits removed, to have changes. That's what's so horrifying about this. That's what we're doing, is we're conferring the deep insecurities of young people. And I do not believe there is very many young people who haven't woken up, looked in the mirror and thought, give me another body. And our job as adults is to say, your body is brilliant exactly as it is. Now, it's feasible that not all the MPs are going to turn up in time because they're stuck doing the good work in the Commons. So I want to tell you who we're missing so that you can give them the congratulations when they arrive. They might end up chatting to us in the pub rather than out here. But I want to say that we would have heard from Jonathan Hinder, who is Labour MP for Pendle and Clitheroe, former police officer and a leading voice of Blue Labour. And I have to say, Jonathan has been brilliant on this subject. Blue Labour have been brilliant on it. The Labour Party is a mixed bag, to say the least, but the Blue Labour bit have been consistently on the right side in relation to this. We would have also heard from Iqbal Mohammed, Independent MP for Dewsbury and Backley, an engineer and IT consultant, not somebody that I often agree with on many things, God knows, but on this he's been commendable, brave and saying the right things, and we would have heard from him. And we would have heard from, of course, Rosie Duffield. Independent in the best possible way. They're on their way, apparently, good. Ex-Labour MP for Canterbury, we can maybe cheer them in real life in a minute. While we're waiting, I wanted to call on Julia Long, a lesbian, a feminist, and a thorn in the side of the establishment. Julia.
Everyone said some very important things today. Everyone has spoken very eloquently. I'll keep this very brief. This so-called trial is child abuse. I think that's all we need to say, because it's true. Sometimes the truth is very simple and very straightforward, and actually sometimes I agree, there is no debate. We do not debate terrible wrongs, we simply say no to terrible wrongs. Child abuse is a terrible wrong. 2,000 children have already been subjected to that child abuse, and at the very least we have to say no more. Thank you.
Okay, we're going to have a bit of sloganeering to rival our friends opposite, our misguided friends. And it goes like this. What do we want? No, stop, what is it? Stop the trials. Somebody's got to be better at this than me. When do we want it? Never. No, right? What do we want? Stop the trial. When do we want it? Never. What do we want? Stop the trials. When do we want it? Never. What do we want? Stop the trial. When do we want it? Never. What do we want? Stop the trial. When do we want it? Never. What do we want? Stop the trial. When do we want it? Never. What do we want? Stop the trial. When do we want it? Never. What do we want? Stop the trial. When do we want it? Never. What do we want? Stop the trial. When do we want it? Never. What do we want? Stop the trial. When do we want it? Never. What do we want? Stop the trial. When do we want it? Never. What do we want? Stop the trial. When do we want it? Never. Okay, we're stopping now. We're going to chat with each other for a few minutes. Julia has got a Christmas carol. I can feel a degeneration happening, everybody.
This election is square. Right, few of us were doing this before, right? I've got a terrible voice, so you have to sing very loud to drown it out, okay? So it's very, very simple. I'll just tell you the words every single, alright? We wish you a Merry Turfmas, etc., and an end to the trial. A letter we bring to Wes Streeting. We wish you a Merry Turfmas and an end to the trial. And we won't go until we've stopped it. Alright, you'll pick it up, it's very easy. We've got someone with a good voice here. We've got 4 members. Alright. Jules has got a good voice.
Right. Could you hold that?
Oh, Jules got a good voice. Well, come on, join it.
Right. Okay. We wish you a Merry Turfmas. We wish you a Merry Turfmas. We wish you a Merry Turfmas.
And an end
to the trial. Later we bring to Wes Streeting. We wish you a Merry Christmas and an end to the trial.
And we won't go until we stopped it.
We won't go until we stopped it. We won't go until we stopped it.
So stop it
right now. A letter we bring to Wes Streeting. We wish you a Merry Turfmas and an end to the trial.
And again. We wish you a Merry
Turfmas. We wish you a Merry Turfmas. We wish you a Merry Turfmas. Christmas and an end to the trial.
A letter
We bring from Wes Streeting. We wish you a Merry Christmas and an end to the trial.
We won't go until we stopped it.
We won't go until we stopped it. We won't go until we stopped it. So stop it right now.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Oh, well done, Melle.
Right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all so much for coming today. I just wanted to say a few brief words. Life isn't easy. Life can proper suck at times, and especially during puberty. There are so many things that you need to work out. Your body's changing, your brain is developing, and there is a reason why puberty is called growing pains. Because it hurts. And for some people it hurts to the point where they're like, please can we end this pain? And there are gender clinics that say, we can do that for you. Now, when you walk into a gender clinic, there are no posters or banners that say, ask us about detransition. Because they are only interested in putting you on that transition train. Just the other day, I interviewed a gay guy, he's 33. He was put on estrogen and androgen blockers. And the point here is, obviously he wasn't a teenager who went on blockers. It's to show that even adults make these mistakes. If adults regret these decisions, then children are going to make these decisions badly even more. And this particular man had trauma, he'd been sexually assaulted, he had an eating disorder. None of this was taken into account. He had 2 appointments at the Sandyford clinic. These clinics don't look at these adults, and they don't look at the children as people. They look at them as hormone levels. They look at them as trans. They look at them through the lens of gender, which collapses everyone into nothing but a feeling. We need to get back to looking at them as people, little human beings that have stories, that have situations, that have circumstances that need to be understood so they can grow up to be full-grown adults with healthy, functioning bodies. Life is hard enough as it is. Let them grow up. Stop the trial.
Right. It's called time filling because the MPs are on their way. Right. That was a terrible way of saying thank you, Melle, for being our choir master, and also a terrible way of introducing actually one of the most important voices in this whole discussion, which is Stephanie Davis from Transgender Trend. I've already told her this. But when I didn't know what the hell I was talking about, other than to instinctively know it was wrong, I got sent some stuff off their website when I was writing about issues in relation to education and suddenly finding that the Times Educational Supplement didn't want my articles anymore, usual. But I didn't really know much about it. And I read the transgender trend stuff and I was educated in the best possible way. We owe them a great debt, and Stephanie has been enormously powerful as an advocate. Stephanie, can you come and say a few words, please? We all need hands getting up.
Stay up there so you don't have to hurt.
I'm so thrilled to see so many people here today. We started on this journey 10 years ago, and here we are. I want to make a really simple point, which is that puberty is not an option. We should never have taught children in schools that it is. To become an adult human being involves going through puberty. It's a tough time, we know it is. This current generation of adolescents have been exploited by a movement online and, to our shame, in schools, telling them that they have this mysterious quality called gender identity, which is real and immutable, and their sex is just a subjective quality that you can change. The opposite is true. Children have been sold a lie, and the most damaging lie you could think of to tell to children growing up and struggling with developing at puberty. It's a very, very cruel lie to tell to children. Puberty blockers are a life sentence. Children are being asked to make a decision about adulthood. It's one way that we have begun to adultify children and treat them as adults. In fact, the way we're treating them by asking them to give consent to have their puberty blocked is a form of emotional abuse. It's one definition of emotional abuse when you're asking children to do something which is beyond their developmental capabilities. These are children. We must stop damaging more of them. We must stop the trial.
We are very shortly going to go to the pub. A nameless pub that's close to here. And if you want to know where it is, you're to come and inquire after this. We're going to finish off with some more slogans. We might even sing. And then we're going to go and have a pint. Right. What do we want? Stop the trials. When do we want it? Never. What do we want?
Stop the trial.
When do we want it?
Never.
What do we want?
Stop the trial.
When do we want it?
Never.
What do we want?
Stop the trial.
When do we want it?
Never.
What do we want?
Stop the trial.
When do we want it?
Never.
What do we want?
Stop the trial.
When do we want it?
Never.
What do we want?
Stop the trial.
When do we want it?
Never.
What do we want?
Stop the trial.
When do we want it?
Never.
Wes Streeting, you have to listen to this. Melle, don't go anywhere, you have to leave the singing.
No. Oh, okay.
Honestly, these men won't do what they're told. Melle, come over here.
Okay, all right, we're jumping.
And the MPs are here, so we're going to welcome them by singing to them.
Rosie.
What?
Rosie's here.
What are we singing?
Rosie.
Rosie, Rosie, give me an answer too. I'm half crazy for all the good work you do.
It gives me great pleasure to introduce one of the leading lights of this movement, Rosie bloody Duffield, MP, who I introduced properly earlier. We're delighted you're here, Rosie.
I can't thank you enough for being here, because I've just come out of that ridiculous waste of space in Westminster, and the deputy decided that I didn't need to speak on the urgent questions, so I bobbed up and down and they chose all of the Labour newbies who are just affirming that the Health Secretary and the government are wonderful. So today I feel very voiceless, and I was going to voice everything that you wanted me to. Wes Streeting hasn't answered our letter that we sent in a while ago. We're going to deliver it today though again, and that's lots and lots of cross-party signatures. There are lots of cowardly Labour MPs who agree that they want a job and they won't say anything out loud. They still get platformed when I don't at all of the women's conferences and things, but they won't say or do anything. And I'm really angry now because I've been in this fight for a while, not as long as some of you, and thank God for transgender trend and everyone else, but I've been in it long enough to tell you this is the worst thing that has ever happened in this entire experiment with children. There's Menno, thank God for Menno, thank God for Josh Howie, thank God for LGB Alliance, and WRN. What would we do without them? How would we peak the public? These children, we don't know who's
for the littlest children if they are in care or looked after. We don't know who's going to get to give consent because they can't legally if they're under 13. But we know that 8, 9 and 10-year-old children will be given consent by one parent. So what happens if the other parent disagrees? Wes Streeting says he's listened to clinicians, but I can see several clinicians here and Helen, Joyce and experts who say this is not okay. Why isn't he listening to them? We need to write to MPs, shout, yell, write to Wes Streeting and do not give up.
Melle, lead the singing on our Christmas song, please.
Okay, all right. The one we did.
Just hold on. Sarah Pochin has just come from the House of Commons. Pochin, sorry. From Reform. I'm not going to try and get up there, Sarah. You say your bit.
Right, come here and let's have a hug.
Hello, everybody. So, yes, I've just come from the chamber where I questioned Wes Streeting on this shocking trial. I said once again that this is nothing short of state-sponsored child abuse. This is human experimentation on our children. These children, there is no lower age limit. I've asked for, if this trial goes ahead, for there to be a lower age limit, and they are refusing to introduce that. I have asked for all already diagnosed children, vulnerable children with issues like ADHD, anxiety, children in our care system to be excluded from this trial. Do you know what I was told by the most frightening bunch of clinicians? They told me in Parliament that they wanted to see the effect of these drugs on those children. They told me that in Parliament. So today, again, I have asked Wes Streeting to follow the will of the people. He is an elected politician, and we are elected to represent you and introduce and affect your will. But he's acting against the will of the people. There is a survey out today by Transgender Trend which proves clearly that people are against this trial. This has to stop. We have 2,000 children and young people. We have the data from their experiences on puberty blockers. And do you know what? We're told we cannot access this data. This data is not being released. So I've just asked Wes Streeting about 10 minutes ago to introduce statutory legislation which he can do to access that data. This trial does not need to go ahead. We have to stop this trial. I believe in the end he will have to back down. So let's keep fighting. We are protecting those young children. I'm a mother myself, and the thought of my children going through something horrendous like this is frightening. So we need to stay strong, and people like me, people like Rosie, this is a cross-party movement now. That is so powerful. We will carry on fighting this on your behalf and on behalf of vulnerable children.
That point about cross-party is so important. Rosie made the point that she was very frustrated she wasn't taken, her voice wasn't heard. That's not true. Rosie, your voice has been the voice that led this movement. You can't think that what you do, what you say, what you are denied saying in the Commons isn't important, because actually the fact that they don't take you to speak says so much, so loudly. It is also the case that what happens in Parliament matters, but it doesn't matter half as much as what happens outside of Parliament. In the end, Parliament is accountable to the public. They are elected politicians. I'm not. but they are. They're MPs and they represent the public of this country. And as some people have said, how dare they? How dare they experiment on the children of members of the public? What for? For no good scientific outcome whatsoever.
Yes. Shame.
So, somebody's shouting at me from behind and we can't hear you, so it doesn't make any difference. What we're now going to do, because we are having a couple more MPs, who are on their way, so I just want to keep going. So I now am asking Melle to officially be the choir master.
I'm trying to work here, okay? I'm trying to work.
No, you're not getting paid. No. Get up here.
Right, okay.
Right,
I'm trying to do some work here. Right. Julia, are we doing the same thing?
Yes.
No, so.
You're trying to suggest I haven't got a lovely voice? Honestly, I hope there's some bloody Britain's Got Talent scouts in the I expect everyone like to take a whole different direction after this. Claire's just jealous of my lovely soprano.
It is beautiful.
It's beautiful. Oh, no, don't. It'll go to my head. Right, so as I say, we've got the words now, yeah?
Okay, yes. Right.
We
wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Turfmas. We wish you a Merry Turfmas and an end to the trial.
With letter
we bring to Wes Streeting. We wish you a Merry Christmas and an end to the trial.
And we won't go until we stopped it.
We won't go until we stopped it. We won't go until we stopped it.
So
stop it right now. That's all we bring to Wes Streeting. We wish you a Merry Turfmas and an end to the trial.
We wish you a Merry Turfmas.
We wish you a Merry Turfmas. We wish you a Merry Turfmas and an end to the trial. That's all we bring to Wes Streeting. We wish you a Merry Turfmas and an end to the trial.
And we
won't go until we stopped it. We won't go until we stopped it. We won't go until we stopped it. So stop it right now.
A letter we bring to
Wes Streeting. We wish you a Merry Christmas and an end to the trial.
Donations at the front, please.
Yeah.
Donations at the front, or we'll sing some more. We'll sing some more. I've only got very sarcastic ones for the pub. Don't let all offend everyone. No, that's.
All right.
What else can we do?
Young man, why'd you think that you pass? I said, young man, have you been smoking grass? I said, young man, you're in your own sex class and you'll never be a woman. Young man, so you're wearing a dress? I said, young man, but we aren't impressed. I said, young man, everybody can guess that you'll never be a woman. Bow, 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 bow. I guess it must be that Y chromosome. Can't get away from that Y chromosome. It's in every cell, it's in your DNA, and you can't make it go away. We have an MP, ladies and gentlemen. More in the pub.
We are going to the pub straight after this. It's not like he's a celebrity or anything, but we're delighted that Jonathan Hinder, Labour MP for Pendle and leading Blue Labour, is here to join us. John.
Hello everyone, thank you for coming, and I'm so sorry I'm late, but when I had my opportunity to say my piece in the House of Commons this afternoon, I was not going to miss it. I may have been called a disgrace by other Labour MPs sat behind me as I sat down. But we all know that whether this gets through Parliament with political support, we know the public does not support this.
Yes.
So I won't go on, but what I want you to go away with today, when you go home, back to your communities, wherever they are, we need to keep this on the agenda, because I have had the experience of talking to family, friends, former colleagues who had not heard about this. They have no idea that this is happening. And when you speak to the ordinary man and woman on the street, they go, what? Sorry, what? And this is state sanctioned. It's not behind closed doors. It's not like Tavistock. This is out in the open. So we need to get out there and tell people of all political persuasions and none what is going on. That is the only way we are going to stop this. Keep fighting, go out there, spread the word, and we will stop this.
Right. Rosie is going to lead us. We're going to hand in the letter signed by people from every single political party represented in the House of Commons and the House of Lords. The Department of Health is opposite us.
Yes.
We are going to walk past some people who are less sympathetic to our cause than we might want them to, but we're going to do it. We're going to do that before we go to the pub for the pint. So Rosie, can you lead? No, all of the MPs, but Rosie, all I'm saying is you lead them. Any MP or politician can go with Rosie, and we are all going to follow. But can I just say, thanks again to Venice. Can I give a shout out to the Darlington Nurses Union? And can I say, this is one step on a long road, but we are walking all the way to the end of that road. You've been brilliant, singing, not bad. Spirit, 110%. Fabulous, as they say. Thanks everyone, we're on. Yeah. I'm the doggy one. All right. See you at the Department of Health across the road. Wait for Rosie to lead the way with the MPs with her.
Okay, here's another great sign. Puberty is the transition.
Exactly, from child to adult. So it's one of the major transitions we go through. First, I think in the first 6 months of life, and then again at puberty.
Yeah.
So this is the transition, and I'm just trying to, I want them to see it over there, those
Let's
activists.
go.
Do you reckon?
Let's go.
I'll have you as my safety net, Melle.
Yeah. Oh, we're not done yet.
Wes Streeting, leave those kids alone. Wes Streeting. Hey, Streeting, leave those kids alone. Hey, Streeting, leave those kids alone. Hey, Streeting,
Leave their kids alone.
Hey, Streeting,
Leave their kids alone.
She's got banner. Hey, Streeting,
Leave their kids alone.
Hey, Streeting, leave them kids alone. Hey, Streeting,
Leave their kids alone. Right, I think the MPs are now going to move to the Department of Health and Social Care to hand in the letter. They're just with the police. I think that crowd has grown now on the other side. And noisy. Right, let's have a look at them. Right, so... I'll tell you later. Oh, traffic. Okay, there's more of them, but not as many as us. Drums. calls. Yes, yeah. Palestine flags.
Hey, Wes Streeting! Leave those kids alone! Hey, Wes Streeting! Leave those kids alone! Hey, leave those kids alone! Hey, Wes Streeting! Leave those kids alone! Hey, Wes Streeting! Leave those kids alone!
Hey, Wes Streeting! Leave their kids alone! Hey, Wes Streeting! Leave their kids alone! Hey, Wes Streeting! Leave their kids alone!
Hey, Wes Streeting! Leave those kids alone! Hey, Wes Streeting! Leave those kids alone! Hey, Wes Streeting! Leave those kids alone! Hey, Wes Streeting! Leave those kids alone!
Right, let's have a look at your sign. AGP men invented a trans child to normalise their fetish and perversion. And the other side?
The other side.
Stop telling girls there might be boys.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I've been enjoying your online.
Oh, thank you.
For about 2 or 3 years now.
Yeah, it's been a while. Thank you. Thanks for coming. Oh, you're offering me food.
Yeah.
You'll have to put it in my mouth because my.
I can do that.
Oh, the mince pies. Oh no, then I can't interview.
Okay.
If you
put it in your pocket.
Put it in my pocket. A mince pie in my pocket. I got mince pie in my pocket. And the other one is holding my camera.
That one.
Yay, mince pie.
I'm all right, but thank you.
Thank you. Are they homemade mince pies as well? Wow, see, turfs need substance, sustenance rather, and substance. Right, okay, so now this message here, it's a controversial one.
It is.
But it's a very important one, right?
I think so, yeah, I think so, because without the invention of the idea of a trans child, it all falls apart. It just becomes fetish and perversion.
Maybe we should get out of the street. Let's move here. Oh, here's the MPs. Oh. So you were saying without they need the trans child to uphold their own.
Yes, because so you'll get a grown man obviously saying, "Oh, well, I was once a trans little girl,"
Yeah.
but he never was, and so that's a way of normalising what they do, saying, "Well, he was always that way," but it isn't. It's just a man with a fetish for the idea of himself as a woman, but it harms then children. So they have to create this idea that they were always that way. But they
Born
weren't.
this way.
Yeah, someone else said a moment ago, it's like a fig leaf. It's what's underneath. So I know it's a bit of a hard message, but I think it's the truth. We need to talk more about autogynephilia, unfortunately.
There is a term for it, like retrospective wish fulfillment or something.
Okay, yeah, well that would make sense, wouldn't it? Like they've been denied something, a girlhood, which is just so gross and creepy and obviously not true. It's just a faith.
That's something that I've seen. Even last week somebody posted, oh, this was taken away from me, or this was denied. I was denied this, because then obviously they feel like, oh, they were hard done by Mother Nature, I guess.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, I might like to be, 5'9" and look like Cindy Crawford, but it's not going to happen. It hasn't been denied to me. It's just not my reality.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to look for those MPs.
Yeah, go on, you go.
Right, thank you.
I hope any of that was intelligible. Who knows?
That's fine. Right.
Do you know which one this is?
I do. Hello, sorry.
These are two of my fabulous co-directors of No More Breast.
Oh, do you mind being on camera? Yeah, okay. I mean, we don't have to. Oh, look at your shirt.
I know.
Right, okay, so let's do that properly. I'm here with Ruth.
Hello.
Who set up her own organisation to help women.
Not just mine, ours, but yes. To help women breastfeed.
Breastfeed, yeah. So you're here with some of your other team members?
Yes, Justine is another director of No More
Hello,
Breastfeeding.
Justine. Thank you so much for your hard work. And there's another one behind me who's a bit camera shy. It's crazy that in this day and age we still have to be so careful about speaking out and showing our face. But we all know why. How was today?
It was great. Such good turnout. Such fabulous speeches. Some rather good singing. And yeah, it's just so important because we're about breastfeeding, but that's not why we're here. We're here because we have children. We it's just mind-boggling that they're going to experiment on children when they are not looking at the data that's already there. It's just, I
think that's the issue, actually. I think for this particular aspect of the debate, you don't have to have a view on gender ideology. You actually don't need to take a side if that's something you feel is difficult. The principle of not experimenting on children without a solid scientific basis. You shouldn't experiment at all. You shouldn't test children without a solid scientific basis. You shouldn't enter into a trial that doesn't have a sound objective, that doesn't even understand on its own terms why it is collecting data and for what purpose, how it's going to measure the impact of it.
And that's not going to give us any long-term data.
It's not going to give us any long-term results. As Helen Joyce says, you're going to give puberty blockers now to a small cohort and then in a minute to another cohort,
right,
and ask them how they feel about it. That tells us nothing.
Yeah, and also I thought, you know, the only kids that they get on this trial are the ones that are desperate for the blockers.
Yes.
So obviously when they get them, they'll be like, oh, hurrah.
Parents who are going to be affirming them, because parents who are sceptical, quite rightly, they're not going to consent to the children being on the trial. So it doesn't tell you.
Well, we already know that there are significant physical and mental impacts to these drugs. We know about osteoporosis, we know about the neurological damage that it will do. We know that long term, if they continue to cross-sex hormones, as most children will if they take puberty blockers, they're going to be without functioning sexual function. I mean, being an adult, living your whole adult life, being unable to orgasm, being unable to produce your own child, being able to have a normal adult relationship. These aren't just aspects of life, this is life.
Yeah.
This is human adult life.
And how can a child consent to not experiencing things that they can't even conceive?
Children can't conceptualise these things. You can't conceptualise what it means not to be able to have a functioning sexual relationship before you've even kissed a member, kissed
and how that forms part of an intimate relationship.
You cannot possibly understand that. I mean, you ask most 20-year-olds whether they want children, and most of them won't know the answer to that. A 12-year-old, or if they are not in touch with their bodies, which is a feature, not a bug, of being a young female. I mean, I don't know a single adult woman who has not felt uncomfortable with her body, felt at odds with her sexuality, struggled with her body image, worried about her relationships and how the world sees her. That's part of growing up female, in your body but also in the world. So that's just something we all have to come to terms with, to pathologise that and to make young girls feel that has to be medicalised. I mean, it's extremely concerning.
It's all based on stereotypes.
And it's all based on stereotypes.
It's all based on stereotypes. That's why,
so to use that as a basis for consent, I really, really struggle with.
Yeah.
And we know, I mean, you've spoken eloquently about how many of this cohort are same-sex attracted. I worry about the children who've suffered trauma, because that's my area. I work in child protection. We know that there's a strong correlation with trauma.
Yep.
We know there's a strong correlation with...
And that also affects males.
It affects both sexes.
The transitioner I just interviewed 2 weeks ago, for him it was he was sexually assaulted and then he went off the rails.
Well, these things can cluster, can't they?
Yeah.
So if a young person who's going through a difficult time of life anyway, I mean, who enjoys puberty? Nobody enjoys adolescence. It's a difficult time.
I didn't enjoy mine.
You overlay that with trauma, with coming to terms with your sexuality.
If I was a 13-year-old today, I would be banging on those doors for the blockers.
Perhaps that's some loss. Perhaps your parents are going through divorce. Perhaps you experience a bereavement. These things can all cluster. Perhaps you're neurodiverse, so you're struggling to come to terms with these things anyway. And we have a crisis in children's mental health. We know this.
Yeah. And you say, if anything needs 10, 11 million pounds of investment, it's mental health services.
I mean, I worry that this is an easy answer. to a complex.
It's also still the case that having this special identity gets attention. It gets so much attention, most of it positive. So why wouldn't a child who may be lacking that for whatever reason go down that path? There's so many reasons why it could happen.
Right.
I think a lot of the detransitioners that you've spoken to, Menno, have said how many things were going on for them. Yes. And as soon as they push the trans button, all the other discussions stop. So you cease to get help for the other things. But something is happening, something is being done. And if you're desperate for an answer, you'll clutch at whatever is offered. And I think that's a real worry. But in terms of the trial, there is this cohort of 2,000 children that went through GIDS. We know we have that cohort. And retrospective studies, I mean, think about thalidomide, which was a drug that was given in good conscience, where they discovered a terrible side effect. What they did was not say, well, let's give a couple of hundred more pregnant mothers thalidomide. What they did was they said, well, let's find all the people we've prescribed thalidomide to and see if we can establish this connection that appears to be emerging. Even with thalidomide, where there was terrible treatment for people that suffered through that and years to get to the bottom of it, even with thalidomide, they didn't put more babies at risk once they knew there might be a connection. But here we are with puberty blockers, and it hasn't even been prescribed for any good reason. I mean, thalidomide, they were at least trying to cure sickness in pregnant women. I mean, this is an ideology.
So, if you've got like a minute with Wes Streeting, or maybe even 15 seconds, what's your message to him?
He's disappointed me. I thought he was braver than this. I think when he stopped the prescription of puberty blockers and he admitted that he had misunderstood what was going on with the Tavistock, I was pleased, and I thought he would be able to see the deficiencies in this trial and stand up and do what is right, and he's disappointed me in the way that he's shied away from that and he's passing the buck. I hope he rethinks and he does the right thing.
Okay.
I would say he has said that he is uncomfortable with the trial. There is a damn good reason for that, because he knows fundamentally that it's wrong. So stop it.
And let's have a look at the t-shirt.
It's from Lily Maynard.
We all know what a woman is. We all came out of one.
Absolutely.
Right. Thank you. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you to my PayPal and Patreon supporters. Because of you, I can make videos like this. Special shout out to my big spenders. Help her open, Mama Turv and the Turventines, me Julie, the lovely Mary, Julia, Dusty, Judels, Leffy, Dorothy, Wildfire, Esther, and Martha. Thank you.